Okay, guys, so I have an admittedly crazy theory about Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 and what it means for the Rick Grimes movies. Let's jump right into it.
I started filming our stories so we would have it, but it became about so much more.
Alright guys, as I said at the outset of this video, this is a crazy theory, but I want you guys to stick with me, right? I want you guys to really hear me out and try to think about this logically. As I've mentioned time and time again about The Walking Dead, the introduction of Al and her character, the death of Carl, leaving of Rick Grimes, the introduction of these movies and what they mean for the greater universe of The Walking Dead, and everything that we've seen Al talk about over the last season and a half of Fear the Walking Dead. Everything that she thinks about is about telling stories and documenting stories for the future. The universe of The Walking Dead is trying to expand. It's trying to move beyond Rick Grimes, but it's trying to give his presence, his meaning, some value in the future of this series. These two characters, I'm sorry if you disagree, but for me, from the moment Al was introduced and the moment Carl died, these two characters felt destined, just absolutely destined to be together and have her take down his story. Rick Grimes was leaving The Walking Dead. This just never felt like it was going to happen, right? Like they were going to kill him off or something. We were fearing about that for the longest time. And then out of nowhere, Rick Grimes gets helicoptered away, never to be seen again, at least on the main show. But at the same time, Morgan goes over to Fear the Walking Dead, gets introduced to Al, and now Fear the Walking Dead is just a couple of months away from the time where Rick Grimes gets helicoptered away. And what happens on Fear the Walking Dead? Al meets, interacts, and falls in love with someone, Isabella, from this helicopter Commonwealth CRM community, right? That is the reality of The Walking Dead that we have been living in. And spoilers for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5 for anyone who hasn't been watching. Even though this last week's episode, as we move into episode 8 of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, this last week episode gave us some fear that Alicia's character was going to be killed off because she got covered in radioactive zombie blood. I'm wondering if the big reveal instead of her death, considering the fact that she's still somehow alive, even though that this has been the biggest warning of this season, don't get this blood on you from these zombies. Please, it will kill you instantaneously, or at least that's the way they've been talking about it. She's still alive in the Season 9 trailer. She's still alive in the Season 5B trailer, so she's not the person going to leave for any reason. But Al, having had this interaction with the CRM, fallen in love, never going to see it again. I make stories for myself. We're trying to build the future. We're trying to make it so your stories don't really matter because there's all this other stuff going on in the world and we're trying to make it better. I'm wondering if the Season 5B trailer, Fear the Walking Dead, focusing almost primarily on the cameras and everything going around with the group as they try to get back to home or whatever is happening between them, I'm wondering if all of this is just simply building up to the fact that Al, at the end of episode 8, or maybe sometime in episode 9 of Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, she decides, I'm going to go look for her. You know, like, I'm going to be like John. I'm going to be like June. I'm going to just go out there and look for the person that I'm admiring right now, the person who makes me feel good. And it's no longer about the stories or trying to document things for the people who are living or everybody else around me. It's for me, and I want to live the best life that I possibly can. It's no longer about trying to protect the memory of my brother or trying to build on these stories or anything else. She decides to leave, she goes out, and she ends up in the Rick Grimes movies as someone who is going to play off of Rick Grimes to the point where maybe throughout the entire trilogy or throughout the very first film is going to be someone, tell me your story, tell me your story, tell me your story, until the point where he decides to sit down at the end of the film and tell her, and she realizes Morgan, all the connections with Dwight and all this other stuff, and what's going on, who's still alive in the broader universe, and that leads us into the second film. Look, I'm not sure if this is going to be something that happens, but to me, this is something that's out there. It's something that feels genuine and something that they're truly working towards. These two characters and their reaction to each other, the way that they look at the world and what one means to the universe of The Walking Dead versus the other one's insistence that everything important in this universe needs to be documented and told in a way that is preserved for the future, which is something that Gimple and AMC and everyone in The Walking Dead is striving for. They need to meet. And it really feels like we're not going to get a death. We're going to get somebody leaving the show for Fear the Walking Dead to go to the Rick Grimes movies, and the best person to fill that position is Al. So, guys, what are your thoughts on this? I know this is kind of crazy. It's really out there. The whole concept of them focusing pretty much a lot of that new trailer on camera footage from Al's camera, people trying to create something, show something, create like a story for her to tell or something to show whenever she gets to the CRM or whatever it might be. To me, it just feels like after watching that trailer a couple times, it's Al saying goodbye to everyone and everyone deciding that the best thing to kind of send her off is just to document like this one day. This like day in the life or something of what they're doing, and that's how she's going to remember them. That's how she's going to, persevere as she goes and looks for this woman that she's fallen in love with. So tell me what your thoughts on this are. I know it's crazy. I know it'll probably never happen, but I will never stop saying that this is a pair that I want to see in this universe, and it feels like Al was created to meet Rick Grimes in some part of the future, right? To document his story, to be the person who tells it and to save it for the future generations or something, that we can find it in the third television series or whatever it's going to be, whatever they're going to do with Rick Grimes and making sure that he has some presence in the future of The Walking Dead, not just in the movies, but in the main television show, Fear the Walking Dead, this new television series, and anything else they do in the future. Andrew Lincoln is very important, and she can help document all of that information and make him immortal in this universe. So what are your thoughts on this, guys? Tell me in the comment section below. Do you like the idea? Do you not like the idea? Just share your thoughts and opinions. Why? Hope everyone's having a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that bell over by the subscriber button to notify you every single time I upload. And also, go down to the description section below, hit that link, and go follow me on Twitter where we can talk about The Walking Dead, anything else that I talk about on this channel, or just in general, have a conversation. I hope everyone's having a fantastic day. It's been real.